Hello and welcome to a video that answers one of the most sought after questions on the internet. How do I overcome negative thinking patterns? So today we're talking about negative thinking patterns, its effect on our mental health, and how we can overcome them. My name is Ife. This is Are You Happy TV? We're humanizing every and any mental health challenge because I believe that mental illness, mental health, these are things that make us human and we're not broken. We can talk about them in simpler ways and we can overcome them. So I want to be able to create a space, a community where people are tackling the challenges in their mental health, taking full responsibility for our own efforts in creating a better environment for us to thrive and grow. So if you're interested in videos like that, come on, subscribe so you never miss an upload. Today, we are talking about how do I overcome negative thinking? And I first want to bring up some disclaimers here. I have for you 3 simple steps in overcoming negative thought patterns. And I want you to understand something. These steps might come across as easy because of how simple they are. But I want you to understand something. Simple does not mean easy, especially when we've gone our entire lives living in a way where we've created habits in our mental health. We've created pathways where we just think the way that we think, and we continue to think the way that we think. So what's important is to understand that when you're breaking a pattern, when you're changing a habit, it is not gonna be easy. But I promise you, the process is simple. But walking it out is what's gonna take diligence. It's going to take a great deal of effort and awareness. You're going to have to be making more conscious decisions in the thoughts that you embrace and in the thoughts that you choose not to. Whatever you decide to do here, you have to make a conscious choice. If you're going to break a habit, if you're going to change the way that you have automatically gone towards thinking, it will take your disconcerted effort to be able to overcome this. But I'm here to tell you, you can do it. I'm going to show you the steps that I took to overcome negative thinking patterns to the point of overcoming serious mental health diagnoses, to the point of getting off of psychiatric medications and even moving away from therapy altogether. So this works, and I've even used these same tips I'm going to give you with clients as a mental health professional, and I can tell you it works. Again, simple steps, not so easy all the time. So let's understand that. But if you're willing to go through that process, taking this simple concept and walking through it, I really truly believe you're going to see success. I've seen success, and many people I've worked with have seen success. If you want to walk through this process with me, come on, let's do it. Step number 1. Step number 1 in overcoming negative thought patterns is our perspective has to be addressed. Step number 1 is start thinking about negative thought patterns as something that's happening to you, something that's coming for you, something that's coming against you, something even that's trying to attack you, something that's trying to harm you, but something that is not you, okay? Something that is not your thought, but something that is potentially on the outside of you, trying to gain access to you to do harm to you. And the reason I say this is that so often we find when we're talking to people are saying, my anxiety, my depression, my this and my that. We're taking ownership of thoughts and patterns of thinking that are actually harming us. And what we want to start to do in our step 1, start to distance yourself in your perspective of the thought from the thoughts. For example, if there is a bully, right, that's at your school, and your bully comes over to you and is constantly calling you names and trying to make you feel bad about yourself, and you're dealing with it at school in the best way that you can, but one day you're at home and you hear a knock on your door. And when you look through the peephole, it's the bully from school. And the bully's saying to you, hey, let me in. I'm your friend. Come on, let me in. I just want to play. Are you going to let in that bully into your house? The answer is probably no, because you're going to see that bully and say, nah, get out of my face. I don't want you around me. We have to do that same thing with our thoughts. Because when we have these thoughts that are so harmful and destructive to our lives because they're bringing such negativity into our psyche, we just let it in. We just let those thoughts in. We just embrace those thoughts like they're our own. And we have to refrain from continuing that pattern of behavior. If a thought is coming and it is negative in nature, it's most likely not the truth, because our bodies are wired to survive. So any thought that is bringing harm and destruction, creating an environment in our soul that causes us hopelessness and depression and feelings of helplessness and anxiety, we have to start to look at the thought as something that is just simply a lie. And the reason being that if we embrace those things into our hearts and into our minds and start to believe these things about ourselves, it is the same as ingesting poison. It is hard enough, right, to go through life trying your best, to do your best. It is hard enough to do that. We don't need these negative thought patterns when we're trying to accomplish things in life. They're just not helpful. And so for those reasons, step number 1 is simple. It's plain. Start to see the thoughts coming against you as something outside of you that is trying to get in order to harm you. And when we do that, we'll start to make choices to say, I actually don't have to believe this thought because it isn't me. I'm wired to survive. In fact, I'll take it one step further. I'm wired to thrive. And this thought is trying to come against my ability to thrive and to succeed in life. So I can start to choose to refrain to agree with it. Simple, right? Step number 2, I want you to write out just the crux of the negative thought. And I want you to put it in quotation marks. Because when you do this, you are again furthering your perspective, your goal of seeing the thought as something that is not you. The thought is just simply something that was said. When I put a sentence in quotation marks, it becomes something. I'm quoting it because somebody said it. So here I am now. I don't have to actually view that thought as automatic truth. If I'm reading a book and the author says, Johnny Washington said, the sky was red that day. The sky was red that day is just something that was said. Doesn't have to even be true. The validity of it is not in question here. It is just something that was said. So step number 2 is on a piece of paper, write out that negative thought and put it in quotation marks. And I'll give you an example of all this after I've given you the steps. Step number 3, last step. Right next to that negative thought, I want you to write out at least 3 reasons why that thought is not true. Is not true. Okay? So I'd say on the left side of the paper, you're going to write out the thought in quotation marks. And then on the right side of the paper, you're going to write out at least 3. Now, if you have 5, perfect. But at least 3 reasons why that thought is not true. And when you do this, you will start to realize that you will see there is a lack of validity in these thoughts that are oppressing you. Okay? These thoughts are not grounded in truth, because truth actually brings freedom. The Bible says, you'll know the truth and the truth shall set you free. The truth brings freedom. The truth brings hope. It brings security. So it strengthens our identity. Anytime you hear a thought and you start to believe it, and it starts to produce fruit of despair and hopelessness and depression and fear, anxiety, that is how we know that these things are not grounded in truth. Because again, as human beings, we're wired to thrive, to survive in thriving. And for those reasons, we have to realize that embracing certain thoughts actually contributes to our inability to thrive. That means that it's going against our simple humanity. So we ought to start viewing those negative thought patterns with great intentionality. Because if we passively accept thoughts that are going to wreak havoc and destruction, how are we supposed to live our lives to the fullest? How are we supposed to accomplish all the things that we've been given to accomplish in this life? We only have one life to live. Do you want to live it in fear? Do you want to allow these thoughts to bring destruction to your life? If the answer is no, then you have a choice. Okay? You have a choice. So let's go through an example. Let me give you an example. Here is a thought. Okay? I've thought it. Maybe you've thought it. And the thought is, you're going to fail. Have you ever thought that? Have you ever, like me, struggled with that thought? Now, here is an example of what you're going to do. You're going to write out, you're going to fail on the left side of the paper, and you're going to put quotation marks around it because it's just something that was said, all right? And then to the right side, you're going to list your 3 reasons why that thought is not true. So here's my reason number 1. You ready? Reason number 1, why that is a lie. My value is not based on my ability to perform, succeed, or to acquire any sort of financial gain. So you're going to fail. Well, my reason why that's not true is because my value is not tied up in my ability to perform. Reason number 2 why that's not true. I'm going to write it out. I am working hard to accomplish what I wish to accomplish in this life. So the reason why that's not true is because I have dreams, I have hopes, I have things I want to do, and I'm working hard towards it. So I'm on the journey towards success and fulfillment in life. And then reason number 3 why that's not true is simple. Even if my efforts don't work out the way I hope, I can adjust, I can course correct, and I can try something else until it works out. So here is the way we have to start looking at these lies. We don't have to tolerate them. We don't have to accept them. And I want to offer you another amazing gift. that I hope will be very helpful for you. It's a very simple PDF that I call Attacking the Lies. Now, I eventually would like to be able to offer you a hybrid course where I'm able to offer you more in-depth educational content on how to overcome negative thinking patterns. But for right now, I'd like to be able to offer you a beautiful gift of a PDF where you can print out as many as you want. I'll put in an example for you so you can understand how to use the PDF, and you can print as many as you want to, and you can use it up as often as you want to. And the goal here is to rinse and repeat. When you start to write these things out and start to realize this is the process, and the lie starts to become smaller and smaller because the truth becomes greater and greater for you, you'll start to be able to do this without having to write it down, because you'll start to acknowledge when those lies are coming to you. You'll be able to see it a lot better and a lot quicker. You won't even have to write out 3 reasons why it's not true. You'll just understand more so, oh, this is a lie. This is a lie that's just trying to get me to be quiet, just trying to get me to stay still and not do anything. It's just trying to get me to hate myself, okay? So here we go. If you're interested in receiving that gift, I'd love to offer it to you, and I would love to see how that helps you. It's just a simple template for you to just know how to go through this pattern. And I think next video, I'm gonna talk more about 3 different types of truth that you can grab onto in order to do these exercises a lot maybe better, but also just more, get deeper into what is the truth in this matter. So if you want that free PDF, just follow the link below. You'll be able to get that. Just put in your email address and I'll send it to you. And also, if you're interested in getting some happy merch, this is a classic happy sweatshirt, sweat hoodie, huh? If you want to get any of that, I have tons of merch and I love the designs. Definitely going to be coming out with more designs in the future. Very excited about that. If you'd like that, go ahead, click the link below and join the happy humans who are repping happy, choosing happy today. And also, if you're interested in continuing to watch any of these videos, the next videos, previous videos, click the subscribe button, leave a comment, and I hope to see you next time. Peace out.